there's a whole generation of people, kids, Gen Z, or maybe the generation below, that don't really know college dropout, graduation Kanye. Like, my little sister is 15, and she told me that in her class they were talking about Kanye, and most people didn't even know him outside of his antics. That's in high school right now. So if you're gonna spend all this time, doing interviews about White Lives Matter instead of putting out good music, there is going to be a generation of people who just see you as just some wacko on the news with an overgrown beard. Not the Kanye that we all grew up listening to and can discern and give him the respect.
Right.
So crazy. I just think legends do have to think about that sometimes,
Question. We all kind of have seen Kanye over the years. What was the album that you guys were introduced to him through?
From the first one.
Late Registration or College Dropout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my introduction too. Right there, College Dropout.
I know it's past visiting hours.
Period.
Can I please give her these flowers?
Yes, that song still gets me.
So good.
So when do you think, if you think Kanye changed, when do you think in his career he changed?
Musically or just in general?
Yeezus.
Just in general, Yeezus?
Yeah, that was the break where I'm like, I don't really know about this one.
That was the Confederate flag jacket.
It's not even that to me.
Oh my
to
God,
me,
I didn't even remember that.
To me,
part of it.
like my beautiful twisted dark fantasy, so overrated. I know you keep saying so good. I think it's so overrated. I don't think it's as good as Graduation. I don't think it's as good as Late Registration. I think the intro with Nicki talking, I think that's the greatest intro. But the rest of the album is like, all right, that's cool.
Right.
But I didn't really feel like it was all that. If we just go track list for track list, that plus Graduation or that plus Late Registration, like just play the songs back and forth and see which ones are better. But then you play Yeezus and I'm like, all right, this album was. I hate calling stuff trash, but it wasn't good until the last 3 songs. Like Send It Up, and then
Wait, which songs on Yeezus do you
the
like?
last 3 were the only ones that had any type of. Black Skinhead was cool. It was cool. New Slaves was cool.
I love New Slaves.
But I feel like the message he's pushing is more so one like, bro, I know that. Like I know that. Like I know people are gonna follow me in the store. I didn't need you to tell me that. Actually, I know they want us to spend money. Yes.
Right.
Talk about something else. Like
right, but
that's really what it gave me.
Sorry, not to cut you off. But you mentioned Yeezus, and that's interesting because I went back and listened to Blood on the Leaves because I'm like, okay, because I feel like he changed around Yeezus too. So I'm like, let me go and look at the lyrics of Blood on the Leaves because, that sample from Nina Simone, that's a heavy sample. Let me see what Kanye West was really talking about.
Right.
I'm looking at the lyrics and I'm like, okay, he wasn't talking about much.
No, that song go crazy. I'm not gonna hold you.
It
Blood on
goes
the
crazy.
Leaves saved that album from being a 0 out of 10. Like,
Yeah, but I'm like, given the sample and the history behind the song, Kanye West wasn't really speaking much power to that sample. It was very surface level and basic. And I'm like, it's interesting that that's the era that I remember in my mind where he like started going off the deep end.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? When did you see the change?
I have been a hardcore fan throughout all those albums. I personally loved Jesus. I love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I loved everything really up until after Pablo. Like Pablo was the last album where I was like, oh my God, I could eat this for dinner for the rest of my life. Like I love this album. I loved everything that came before it. And then after that, I'm like, he can do no wrong in my eyes. And I don't even remember what came out after that because it probably sucked. I don't know what came out after that. Nothing after that has done anything for me.
Yeah,
So.
I think Pablo for me was the last good Kanye vibe that I listened to. Everything else, I mean, Jesus is King and, all of that. I mean, I'm a PK, so of course, praise God, amen. But, I did not feel like it was talking about the same things that I was talking about when it comes to Jesus and stuff like that. So I kind of zoned out from that. But gave a lot of people some jobs, okay? Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of people in that choir I knew. So that was good. I don't know, man. I think Kanye is always going to be creatively great. I just think at this point it's time to figure out what's the next thing.
Yeah. I agree.
So do y'all think it's more music?
I mean, just for the record on the camera, Kanye is not doing any of these antics for money. He has so much more money than most of the artists. He's just doing it because he's he's just doing it. Like I don't
he
really
can.
think,
Yeah, he says that constantly.
because the Yeezys, like I just follow sneaker sales and stuff like that. They sell out immediately. Like he's not hurting for bread whatsoever. I feel like it's more so just him speaking his mind. Like he's talking like it's just us in the room and not. But you got to realize it's a mirror with the whole world looking on the other side of the mirror. So it's like you kind of have to rein it in. And I respect him for being real and speaking his mind about it. That's what I'm saying for the record. I really have nothing wrong with what he's saying because I know if he was in his living room, he'd get that off. But you're in the living room of the world, like literally the whole earth. Somebody with a phone is gonna eventually see this because they know your name. So it's like, I know it sucks. You can't really speak your mind because you want to, but you kind of have to just chill. Because I know there's probably other people who feel the same way. His father feels the same way when they were texting, but it's like, keep that to yourself. Like we don't need to know that. You probably like it's not gonna it's not gonna change anybody's day for the better. Right. You're gonna change people's day for the worst. So it's like
Well, he can say
that's
those
my
things.
whole thing.
He can say those things because he has the money, and that he's constantly said, like, he has the money now where he can say those things. You and I probably could not say the things that Kanye West is saying right now, but I think Kanye West that is the whole point. Like, he knows what he's doing, and that's the thing. We all are saying, like, Kanye West has been a genius. This man is extremely intelligent. He is not an idiot by any means. So he knows these conversations are conversations that he's having with elites, and then he's coming back and he's bringing that to people. Like, look, this is what they're saying about y'all. You feel me? Like, it's like we get so surprised when we hear certain things like, oh, they said on the mic to follow this black person in the store. Like, why the hell are we surprised? We all grew up with that. Like, what you doing? What's going on over there? Like, instead, you're not trying to sell me this product, girl. You just want me to hurry up and buy this and get up out of here. Right. And I think that we know these things. We don't say these things because if we say these things, then we can't get any further in the industries and careers that we want to get into, you know?
And the fact that is a fact is the problem that he's trying to break. That's why I'm not mad at what he's saying.
Right.
I'm just saying, kind of constructed in a different way. Like I don't really know. I don't really know why for him to even construct it or just say it and let it rock. Yeah. Because if you feel like this is what you want to say and this is what you feel like doing, then get it off. Because everything that I heard on graduation, Can't Tell Me Nothing, is what he doing right now. Like,
exactly.
He said he got his money.
That's true.
And I'm finna wild out.
Okay.
So.
That's true. I think I personally, as a fan, am filtering him myself. Like, he's not gonna filter himself. He's gonna say whatever he want to say to protect my respect for him. I'm not gonna watch the full Drink Champs interview. I'm not gonna watch him on CNN or Fox with Tucker Carlson. Like, I don't really need to see that side of him all the time. I just hope that some good music comes out of it at some point. Like, give me something, you know?
Yeah. I think we might have all been hearing some different stuff. But I have some clips because I see what y'all are saying. And Kanye West, you know, in the mix of all of the other stuff, he does say, you know, one or two things that may be true here and there. But it's like the things that kind of lean into the right-wing ideology, I feel like that overweighs the real that he's speaking. So let me play a little clip for y'all. This was on, which interview was this? I forgot which one this was.
It ain't the Piers one, is it? Because Lord.
It's been so many, but
so many. I can't. Let me
just play this for y'all real quick.
I empathize with the position of the straight white male, and part of the reason why I empathize with that position is because I know that I'm headed to that position, and what position that is top power position. Oh my God.
Okay.
So in my mind, that just says that Kanye wants to be alleviated of the black oppression that black people face because of his money, because of his status, because of his clout. But in the history of this country and the history of the world, when has a black person ever been able to out-earn and climb the social ladder of what black people have to deal with? And I feel like it's turning into resentment at this point. And now we're the ones on the other end of all of these isms and all these things that he's saying, us and the Jewish community. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like if he's frustrated with fashion and if he's at a point in his career where music isn't his thing and he wants to go into the right wing, I feel like you can do that. But as a celebrity with a platform the size of his, I feel like he has to be more responsible in the way that he does it.
He did misuse that, but you definitely stretched that. I ain't gonna hold you because he said like 7 words, and you gave me a thesis just now. I feel like what he said was not trying to play you.
No.
Like what he said was what he meant by straight male. He meant by like a Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg. That's what he meant as far as power. He's like, I'm about to be with them, where I could tell a country, hey, y'all not about to eat this, whatever. Not saying like literally, but I'm gonna stop sending product to y'all. That's it. Like I have the power to stop stuff. Like I could call the state of Chicago, hey, shut down this building's power, like stuff like that. That's what I think he means. So he's like, I'm headed to that. So I'm trying to figure out how I could navigate through that space by still being a nigga, like still being somebody I could dap up, still being somebody who could be in the club, in the section. But I could go talk to Jeff Bezos, like, yo, or still talk to Elon Musk. To me, it's a crazy situation. I feel like all of his music kind of led up to this life that he's pointing out now. The power of the tongue is actually crazy. But yeah, because that's actually crazy to where I could be chilling, hooping with Sheck West, and then I could go be on the phone with Elon Musk talking about what we're gonna build in Texas. I feel like the situation that we're speaking about, none of us have been in. I can't even remotely even think about how I would be in that situation. So it's like, if you're trying to make all the right moves, and then you're getting judged for all these moves, it's like, bro, I can't even. I'm gonna just do it, like, and then y'all got to deal with it afterwards, because I could do it and you can't, because that's not like we could call Jeff Bezos.
No. But if
it's not
you're
like I could
headed, if that's the direction you're going, and I'm happy for him, I want him to get all the success he wants to get, but you don't have to drag down the Black community to go there. Like, if you're doing that now, saying you're about to be at the level of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and look at how we talk about them. Eat the rich. Oh, they do this. They don't want to do this for society. You're literally telling me right now, I'm about to go to the other team. I'm White Lives Matter. I'm Candace Owens, who's saying she does not claim our culture. She does not want to be part of our culture. This is who I'm rocking with to the top. F y'all. That is what he's saying, and that's what the issue is there.
Is that what you're saying? Is that what you heard?
That's what I'm
That
saying.
is the context.
I didn't hear
If
that.
I didn't hear that either. And as a Black
But
man,
the thing
didn't hear
is,
that.
you
Sorry.
it's not about just those few words that he just said. It's the context of
Right.
everything he's been saying and doing, in addition to that one
Yes,
little snippet we
but
heard.
there
It's not
are
like that's the
not-
only snippet we've heard.
let me tell you something, okay? I have been in multiple spaces, thank you, Jesus. And I will say there are a lot of Black billionaires who do not follow our culture in the slightest, okay? And that's no disrespect to anybody, right? I have a homegirl who is very pro-Black and will be like, you see, he ain't got no Black girlfriend, it's not Black wife. Like, listen, that is their choice. I think that, just like this brother just said, I think that Kanye West is an actor, right? And if you study acting, you know that there are pop words, right? There are certain things that you have to say so the shit pop off. And that's what it is. So if he say white man, everybody gonna be like, oh, Kanye trying to be a white dude. That's what it is. That's not the case. He's just saying that these are our examples, right? Like, what Black billionaire example do you have that is in that 1% that is doing those things? You get me? Like, I think that he knows, right? Like, obviously, he can't go back to where he's from because everybody gonna either want something from him or hate on him in some way, and then it becomes an issue, right? So you have to gradually build up, but when you get to a point to where you got to be behind the gate, you got to be behind the gate, and
You
it is
can
what
be
it is.
behind the gate and not go on a whole rant talking about George Floyd was doing fentanyl and he didn't really get killed
That's
that way.
what I'm saying.
How are you
And I
gonna
get
spin that? How are you
get
gonna
that.
spin that? He was
But
acting.
here's my thing. What I'm saying is like, I already said, first of all, that the George Floyd shit was trash.
He didn't
I
need
never
to,
said
but
shouldn't
he
have
don't
said-
need to drag
but
their family
he doesn't.
to bring himself
He
to
does
where he
not.
wants to
He
go.
does not. But as I said before, when it comes to things that he knows is going to make this stuff crack off, like, a lot of times you think, okay, so this person is a celebrity, they should be able to do whatever. I look, people do not care if you are a celebrity. They still will not confirm you for stuff. They still will not write the article. They still will not do a lot of things because they don't care. Like, it's not, unless the higher up is like, you need to do this for Kanye. You know what I'm saying? This man is openly saying this is where I want our people to be at. And in order to get there, somebody got to get there, and somebody going to take all of the heat while they get in there. I'm not saying that everything he says is right.
I don't know if he wants us there.
He's not trying to bring us with him.
I feel like he's saying the black community out to dry.
Get back to the back of the bus, okay?
I don't agree at all. You got to think about him being a producer. All the people that he made money. He made like hundreds of people millionaires.
This is
So
true.
you can say that, but I haven't. So I can't tell somebody what they're gonna do.
Right.
And the thing is, I feel like we haven't really we've given Kanye money, yes, as fans, but I feel like we're still asking for. I feel like we should get more so giving.
I think he made most of his
I
money.
don't need you to do nothing.
And
but you said
especially
music.
as a black
You
woman,
want
yes,
more
music.
You heard that,
You're
right?
asking
okay.
for music.
But
Yes,
especially as
I
a black
am
woman,
asking for music.
because
That's
I think
true.
our experience as black female Kanye fans is different from that of black male Kanye fans.
How so?
agree.
Kanye West has been not so nice to black women in his music, and I think as a black woman who
What he say to you?
he didn't say anything to me, but he says
my
a lot
God.
about black women. There's a lot of commentary on black women, and I mean,
Give me some.
one gonna bring her up, but we could just bring up Kim Kardashian. When they fell out, he went on this whole tangent of how I gave y'all the culture, aka gave the Kardashians the okay to rock the braids and the spray tans and the booty injection, lip injection. Basically was
They
like,
was doing that
They
before
was
him.
already doing that, yeah.
well, from his own mouth, he said that he gave them the culture, and then they were able to go.
I thought he
and
made
have
swag
the-
like
the
dress.
idea for Django. So
But where the swag come from?
I mean, you can tell somebody how to dress. It is what it is. It's her choice to put it on.
Yeah. Well, he said he gave
He
them
was
the
giving
culture.
them the stamp of approval to be
appropriate.
able to get it. Yeah. Versus like before they were doing it. And Kanye completely leveled them up and changed them completely.
did.
The entire
Hell no.
family.
They
Do you
were
know- do you know that-
already headed
Yeah,
in
I
that
don't know.
They
direction.
were headed in that direction, and
They were.
he
No,
was.
Kanye introduced
the
them to all the
key.
fashion houses.
I feel
That's
like
how they got
he
into the
leveled
Met
it up.
Gala.
I feel like we have
That's how they got into Balenciaga.
Yeah, but
a
that's
short memory here. When he was going with her, wasn't he saying he had $50 million in debt, and she's the one that gave him the bread to get it out? Were you gonna do that for him?
Look,
Or
I'm
no,
not-
wait a minute
I'm
now.
not on
Let's not
Kanye's
say that
radar.
black women would not do
Kanye.
that.
No,
Black women,
I'm
okay.
just saying, do they
Because
have the
black
means
women
to
will
do-
definitely
do they have
do
the
that.
means
Black
to
women
do
are the
that?
most down
The
100% on the
average-
planet.
Do you have the means to take $53 million and give it to somebody else?
Well, the
or the means or the
average-
resources to get it?
Well, I don't think that's a
average
fair
woman,
question because it's not.
The average
I mean,
woman
they are
doesn't.
dating.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, though. So
So
Kim Kardashian
kudos
does.
to Kim Kardashian for
She's
doing
not
it,
the
but
only
she
rich one.
that
But she built her
$53 million
brand
was
off
an
of-
investment to capitalize off of black culture, repurpose it, and make millions and millions more. So now her children, her grandchildren, all these people gonna be eating
That's
off of
business.
the culture that Kanye West.
$53 million
$53 million
is
to them
$53
is
million.
nothing.
Girl,
When you
I ain't never seen them before.
It's
So
a
I gotta
when
see
you
it first.
factor in how
investment.
much
It's a
they've made,
business
it's nothing.
investment.
But
It's a business
Yeah.
investment.
Oh, y'all talk about money like it just grows on trees.
no,
but
I'm
we're
talking about
talking
in
about
terms of them.
business.
In terms
Yeah.
of them.